All right, and we are back with another episode of The Buzz. Follow us, Gospel Music Buzz, on all social media platforms. Check out our Spotify playlist, grab some merch. But today, we are here with an exciting episode. We're here with stellar award-winning, Grammy-nominated siblings, the Walls Group, to talk about this new album. Welcome to the show, guys. How are you doing?
Hello. Good. Can't complain.
Awesome. I think the last time we sat down together, it might have been in 2019 in New York, I believe. Warren Campbell was doing My Block Presents. My Block Presents in New York City, and we got to meet you guys in person, interview you in person. So it's good to see, a few years later, we're back at this again. So awesome.
Still doing the same stuff. Still doing the same stuff we was doing then.
And Daryl, I know you. Huh? And Daryl, I know you just celebrated, your 32nd birthday, man. So, how are you? You've came a long way from that 1-year-old playing tambourine, man. I mean, so.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I feel great. I actually feel like I'm in the best place I've ever been in my entire life. Getting older is good, so I feel good.
I'm with it. Now, in terms of, trying to figure out, who may answer what question at this point, you can kind of just, any of you can just kind of jump in. But the first thing, I wanted to know is that growing up in a household with 8 siblings, so tell me right now, who out of the 4 that's here would you consider to be the comedian of the group, and who got in trouble the most?
Wow. I think the comedian of the group, it depends on the day, but I think most times Rhea would be the comedian of the group because she plays the most. Who got in trouble the most? I think everybody would agree growing up that it was me. And that's okay with me. You see?
I feel like Alec had another.
Nobody would agree that it was you. You never got in trouble for anything. What are you talking?
Are you crazy? I was always in trouble. Funny story. I said that never.
It's perfect.
Maybe it was even. No, we're talking about growing up. Who gets in trouble now the most? Probably my dad. I'm talking about my papa didn't whoop anybody, but I got a whooping by him. I got a whooping by everybody that never lifted their favorite with a child.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that one.
Awesome. Now, in terms of just, I know you guys have your slogan that says, we're just ordinary people aspiring to do extraordinary things. How does that kind of resonate with you now in this season with the new project that's forthcoming and, everything else that's just happening in and around the world in general, but more so honing in to this new project? Like, how does that slogan kind of resonate even more?
I kind of feel like it resonates now probably more than when we were younger because, most kids that grew up in church know how to pray church, you know what I'm saying? And I think as we've gotten older, the extraordinary things that we aspired to do probably fell flat on your face, because we had dreams and visions as kids, but I think as we submitted ourselves to the will of God more as we got older, I think that what you'll see or what we've seen is God is doing what He's doing, and we're literally just a conduit. So the extraordinary things that we've aspired to do have only really been possible because of the fact that they were ordained by God. So we're always going to be regular extraordinary people, period. And I think that that comes with humility, that comes with a lot of pressure taken off of us because being young in this industry, there has been and continues to be a lot of pressure to be, perfect, to be the people that people want us to be. But one thing about God is that He doesn't deal in shame. He doesn't deal in guilt. He doesn't deal in people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? His word is absolute. His will is absolute. And He's very clear about what it is He requires from us. So while it may be confusing to navigate, trying to live for people, I think God has made it very clear who He wants us to be, where He wants us to be, and operating in that, I think, has kept us consistent.
I love that. I love that for sure. And then even on a slight follow up to that, and I know Daryl or whoever else want to jump on this one, but in terms of, you guys have been doing this for a while now, right? Almost close to 14 years again, as as I mentioned, growing up in this industry. What are some tips that you might even give to someone that is now starting, that's about to embark upon that same journey that you guys have been taking, just from a navigation perspective and just holding it all together as you kind of go forward?
Always stay true to yourself. But there is a you that God created, right? It's a you that God created that's supposed to be here. And your job is to grow that, evolve that, not necessarily change that. And a lot of times when you get into this industry, the first thing everybody wants to do is change who you are. When in reality is that you should embrace all of who you are and give that to the people. And I think one person that is very consistent in that was Ty Tribbett. When Ty Tribbett, he came out, he was who he was from beginning all the way up until now. And you can't say that how he hears things and how he presented himself was ever influenced by a label or anybody who was like, in order to stay here, this is what you got to do. And he came in kicking doors down and was like, this is all I got. This is who I am. We're radical, we're crazy, but this is it. Yeah. This is how God gave it to me. And because of that consistency, he is now who he is today. And I think that that is a perfect example of what it means to be in this industry and stay yourself. As you grow and evolve, but still foundationally, you are who God literally created you to be. So, yeah.
I love that for sure. And Alec, for you, in terms of, you guys are all individuals doing great things by yourselves, keeping that balance between your individual talents and styles, but also still maintaining that cohesive group sound. So how would you say you guys have been able to keep that, within these past 14 or so years?
Well, I would think that we have with each other to get over with the things that we know about each other, especially musically. So where someone lacks one day, somebody is on that stepping stone. Somebody's immediately in the place of it's a revolving door rather than just something that got lucky with and it happened. It's more of than a trick. And so, and we're related, we siblings, that sibling bond, that sibling, I know, but that we just connect, and it's more than just about making a song or making something sound nice. It's like, okay, what are we talking about here? What is our message? What are we trying to convey here? Not even what emotion are we trying to get across, because our emotions are going to happen. What truth are we trying to convey here? Yeah. Because we can all operate on that same level, a lot of the outcome is shared, like the vision of out there, so we can all work towards the same thing, work out great.
That makes sense. That's perfect. And now, you guys are, just days away from the release of this new project. You've been, trickling out some singles here and there that we're going to get into right now, some releases. The pre-order is still going strong. The release of the new project that's coming this week, the 24 Four Walls, your third studio album. I'm sure it takes a lot. Anyone looking at this from the outside, you guys kind of make it look easy, but from the outside, but I'm sure, anyone that is in it know there's a lot of work that kind of goes into this, So what was some of the inspiration when you guys, sat down with the labels, sat down amongst each other just to say, hey, it's time, we're ready to get back in there and record a full album, let's put this thing together? What was some of the inspirations behind this project, and what do you want everyone to be able to receive when listening to this project this Friday?
I think Rhea says it best all the time. She says that at one point in our lives we were the kids that everybody loved and knew, and then now we're grown adults now. But it's one thing to grow up in church and sing about God and learn about God, but there's another thing to experience him. And I feel like on this album, you'll get a chance to hear that we've experienced him for ourselves individually as well as collectively. And that there's this mature sound on this record. Not only was it, we were inspired, by our life experiences, but also by the music that we grew up listening to.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't hear, your typical just kind of church sound, although you'll get some of it, but you'll get also all of the type of music that we listened to as kids, from 80s rock to New Jack Swing, or Teddy Riley and Stevie Wonder. All these different sounds and types of genres will all be on this record, which I think we've kind of always done. But this time, I think you'll feel it a little bit more authentically than we ever have. I think we really pushed for I wanted to feel like this feel good record that when you start this, right, it's from beginning to end, it feels good. So I'm excited. I'm excited for people to hear. We're excited.
Love it. Anyone else want to jump in and say anything else on that? Okay. The other thing I was gonna ask as well, because I'm always curious from the process, what is on the writing side of things, just the overall start to finish process. How long would you say it took, between writing, recording, just to get to this phase? Like, how long has it been in the works?
Man, we started working on this album, I think in 2019. And those were just the skeletons, or the songs like So Into You, I Need You. They were done, or what we thought was done then. And then I think last May, we got back in the studio in Uncle Warren's parents' house, his original studio, garage. And we kind of added to the songs. We kind of created some new songs, some songs we scrapped that you won't hear on this album, but they do exist. So it's been almost a 2-year process for us, and we would go back and take something away, go back and add something. And so, yeah, it was a long process, but I think long because we wanted it to be authentic. We wanted it to be, right.
No, and we're definitely feeling that from it as well too, because even with the lead single Crazy, super upbeat, energetic, looking at the video, you guys are just having fun. You're just in there just with the visual concept of that video. Like, what was it like just creating something like that? It seemed like everyone was in their own element, and it just looked like, you were just really enjoying it. Like, what was that process feel like?
I think for us, we were just glad to just be doing something again. So it's always authentically just fun and whatever we have to give. And so we drove to Dallas and we shot the video. And I think that you can tell in the video, we just was doing whatever they said. Yeah, just do that. Yeah, just go crazy. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, that's what it is. And so the video is crazy because we are crazy for Jesus, of course.
I like it. I like it. And and the live performance for the live rendition performance of I Need You, again, showcase a lot of vocals, harmony, just your approach to that versus their studio recording, there's the video, but then just the live performance. Again, how do you kind of translate from hey, we're in the studio, we're doing this in the video, but now we're just back to this live performance, and soon I'm sure, it's going to be touring and all of that, like just going into that journey. Like, how does that feel right now?
Well, live, we got it.
I would say the studio, you can't capture every emotion. You can't capture every super dope run. You can't just keep every take and take it with you live. Singing the song also comes with the emotion you got when writing the song. It comes from dealing with the truth that you're faced every time you have to sing and live those lyrics in front of everybody on stage. And so no matter how many times we sing it live, it'll be different every time, because first of all, the environment will be different.
Yeah.
Situations will always be different. The situations of the hearts of people will always be different. And our situations will always be different. So studio, we just kind of, you know, put the song out, hope it do well. We hope you bless you and you want to turn it on for church. But every time you do it live, it's always going to be different because studio could never just capture, even a live studio performance could never capture. It could never capture it.
Yeah. No, and I think that's perfect. And again, just kind of, you know, seeing you guys, you know, again, because we were in the room in Vegas, can't remember the exact year it was, but when the announcement, you know, with you guys joining my block and you came out on stage and, you know, each of you had your jackets on and it was just like such a super dope moment, you know. So how has that experience even been since then, working with Warren? You know, Warren has so many years, you know, coming from his journey, you guys creating this together. I'm sure you brought in other, you know, producers and such on this project, but just kind of, you know, being mentor and working with him over these past years. How's that experience been?
Warren has been really, really fun, really easy. He makes the process fun and easy. One thing that we love about working with My Block is that it is a free environment to create. There is no restriction. There's no do what we tell you to do. It's just more so like, what do you hear? Well, y'all do it. You write it. You figure it out. You know, I think the most he'll do is give us a track or whatever the case may be, and even sometimes not even that. We can be creating something and then he'll be like, do it now, and we'll do it. Which is like some of the songs that we like that are not on the record.
Yeah.
A lot of songs were created like that. But it's a free environment to really kind of go to a place that you probably would never go, to push yourself to do things you probably would never do, hear things you probably would never hear. And I am appreciative of hearing myself do things and become things that I would never, you know, typically initially become on my own. I wouldn't really like some of the songs in the record. You'd be like, wow, that's good. That's different. Or putting my voice on that track is different than what I would have created ever. So it is fun to hear us really kind of push and do things that we never thought we would do. And that's just Warren. He can hear it. He can see it. And I appreciate him for pushing us in this season, because there was a point in our lives where we felt like, we had felt like we reached a plateau, like this is it. And working on this record kind of pushed us to see, oh, there is more. There is something else. There is some more stuff in here. So we had a good time in this record.
Awesome. And again, just kind of looking back on some of the songs, because again, listening back to them, again, just in, you know, in preparation of the album that's dropping this Friday, you know, listening to, you know, you're listening to Crazy, you know, you're going to vibe out, you're going to kind of get excited, but then even coming back into I Need You. I Need You, again, super soulful, you know, you kind of touching, you know, you really like tugging on the heart there, because there was one line that said that, you know, like the sun that needs the west in order to set, without the worst, you can't have the best. And like that really resonated with me, because I'm like, you know what, that's so true. Because a lot of times we may be going through the worst, or what we feel is the worst at that time, but then the best is still coming, right? So just lyrically, you know, in these songs that you guys have kind of, you know, you guys wrote, and also, you know, with So Into You, same thing, you know, it's a lot of vibe, you're kind of vibing out, it's giving you a little bit of the R&B feel, but again, when I say R&B, I don't want the saints coming for me, so I'm talking about, you know, righteous and blessed, you know, righteous, but nah, it's it gives you that R&B feel, you know, it's taking you there, you know, you have my heart and my soul is yours. Like it really dig deep. So to kind of be in that place when you're writing lyrics like that and just living through whatever it is that you're living through at that moment, and then putting it out there for everyone to see, you're also opening up the veil of your own vulnerability and what you might have been going through at that time. So anyone that kind of just want to touch on that as we come towards the ending, like what was that like, saying, you know, hey, I'm going to write these lyrics, I'm going to put myself there, because this is just, you know, what everyone is feeling, but someone just needs to be able to express that?
Well, to write in the type of environment that we write in, everybody's input matters because we're in a group. So we have to not only come up with lyrics, but also all agree that, oh yeah, this makes sense, or oh yeah, I relate to this. And a lot of our writing process has been growing pains. Working with your siblings, we're like changing every day. Everybody is. So we have to not only accommodate each other as we're growing, evolving, but get to know each other, reacquaint ourselves with each other, fight about it a little bit, disagree, and then come to some type of common agreement. So when you hear songs like I Need You, the bridge, I didn't like the bridge at first. And I didn't write it. I think Eric wrote the bridge and we collaborated on it, but me, Eric, and Daryl, and it was mostly Eric and Daryl. And when they came back with this, I was like, but I'm also not a person that likes bridges in my songs at all, personally. So we have to concede on things like this, and for the come and go with everybody. While I may not like it, everybody else loves it and agrees with it. So there are times where we have to concede and really disagree to feel the song out in a more emotional type of way, where and it's I don't really like this in my day-to-day life, but I do agree with Steve and I do know it didn't bless somebody. And for So Into me, Paco, and Daryl, we wrote the lyrics for the verses and everything. It all kind of just came together because we agreed that chasing after God and sometimes him chasing you because you start running away, and you know what I'm saying, having this love affair, if you will, with the Lord is really like, man, like I'm so into God. And the concept for the song when we came up with it was kind of like, B5, all I do is think of you. That's all I had in my head when I was thinking about it. A lot of us don't acknowledge the fact that the relationship we have with God is a relationship. And we'll, basically, for lack of better terms, send for people, you know what I'm saying? And we'll be all of our feelings of the people. But, how many times do we like just gush over how we feel about, who is the head of our lives? And so that's kind of where that song came from. And when I hear it all walking out, I'm always amazed that in so many different people and so many different perspectives and so many different experiences, we can all agree on how much we really do love God, how much that really shapes not only who we are, but our just our lives in that period. So, and I'm happy that you said that you're saying that and keep you hear that, because I was trying to get annoyed sometimes because you hear it for years and years and years and it never gets on to people like this, but we wouldn't be considered gospel. You gotta understand. People would try to push you out of that space because we have maybe more like modern type look, modern type feel, if you will. But it's the posture of the hearts for me.
Yes.
So I absolutely love that you're saying that because it's more encouragement for us, I feel.
Oh, it is 100%. And I know we're coming up close in time, but I can't not talk about, this cover art. I know the cover art plays a big part into the music, into the feel, into everything. So lastly, on the cover art, because when we first posted the cover art, everyone was going crazy about how dope it was, wanting to know everything about the cover art. So, let us know, while we're seeing the individual boxes on the cover art that shows individuality, but also the symmetry as a whole together, kind of just, set it up for us. What were some of the thought process around creating and just agreeing that this is the cover art we're going to go with?
I think Warren, and we had a conversation with him, is that the idea was to always, for this record, to make sure that everybody understood that there are 4 individual walls. And for so long, like you said, almost 14 years we've been doing this, they always put us together because we were family and a group. So not only were we together family-wise, we were together group-wise. So there was no individuality. It was always the 4 of them, those kids, those guys, that group, that family. And when the reality is that there are 4 individual people here who make up this beautiful family and this group. And he wanted to showcase the individual talent and gift and personalities that make up this beautiful group that everybody loves. And we were able to do that on this album, even to say that we all have 4 individual songs on the record. So it was just a big idea and a big creative piece that said everything has to make sure that we understand that there are 4 individuals with their own personalities and gifts that make up this group. So there's the cover art that says 4 different boxes, 4 walls that make up the Walls group. Individual, different, everybody's different, everybody has their own personality, but it is still this group. So that's where it came from. We love it.
Beautiful. Listen, you love it. We love it. Everyone is going to love it. 4 Walls coming out this week, this Friday. You can still pre-order to get some of the singles that was already released, but it's happening. Guys, thank you so much for just coming in, for speaking with us. I know you're running back and forth, doing a lot of press, but I appreciate you guys, coming in and talking to us. If you do make your way through New York for touring, for other additional press, we'll be sure to be in the building, in the space, supporting you guys. Now, lastly, since I mentioned it just now, is there discussions around any sorts of touring or anything, or everything is still being prepared? You don't want to leak anything out as yet?
Can't give it to you.
Okay, I had to ask. All right, thank you so much. Where can everyone, if by now I think if anyone doesn't know who you guys are, they may be living on the rock, but for the new individuals that are getting to exposure to your music, where can they find you and really track everything that's happening lead up to the album and beyond?
Everything. You can find us on everything at the Walls Group. That's WALS, not the Wall Group, Walls Group. If you want to find our music, want to pre-order our album, any of that, everything is at the Walls Group. We got some more visuals coming out soon, so subscribe to our YouTube channel. Maybe have some more content.
Check out our website at www.thewallsgroup.org.
Yeah, all that.
So thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're excited. Can't wait to listen to the full album. Have a good one, yo.
Later.